Hey everyone, welcome back to another Genshin analysis video. My last 3 gameplay analysis videos were mainly focused on Nodcry mechanics, as opposed to the actual characters that came out. This video is, surprisingly, actually going to cover the promoted character. Nefer is going to be our newest 5-star in version Luna 2. Her role is that of a Lunar Bloom, or LeBloom, DPS, but that's not really what we're covering here. I want to mainly focus on her gimmick as a unit who disables the Bloom reaction in order to buff her own damage. This whole idea sent me down a massive rabbit hole, so now you all get to deal with my senseless rambling. Down below we have disclaimers, timestamps, social media links, music credits, and a link to my Discord server. Captions are there if you need them. Without further ado, let's start our Luna lesson on Nefer. Let's quickly cover Nefer's kit and what makes it so unique. When she is in a special skill state, she'll consume Verdant Dew to perform a special charge attack. As we know, LeBloom still creates regular Bloom cores. Nefer's big mechanic is that she converts all Bloom cores into Seeds of Deceit. The seeds are not able to deal damage in any way. When Nefer enters her special skill state, she absorbs nearby seeds and grants her special charge attacks a damage bonus. A lot of people mention that Nefer is like the anti-Nilou character, and this is very accurate. Most of them say this as a jab that Nilou can't be played in Nefer teams, but this idea goes a little deeper from the game design perspective. One of my personal concepts is the reaction buffer versus capitalizer chart. Buffers use their kit to buff a reaction. Capitalizers use reactions to buff their kit. In the buffer category, there's regular damage buffers like Mizuki for Swirl or Llama for all Bloom types. Then there's super buffers who change the properties of a reaction. These would be units like Nilou for Bloom, or even Lunar Charge units like Flynn's or Inefa. On the capitalizer side, you can think of supports like Chevres using Overload to provide the Res Shred, or Navia using Crystallize to deal extra damage on her skill. Nefer takes this concept a step further. She doesn't keep the original Bloom reaction while also buffing her own damage. She disables Blooms as a means of buffing her own personal damage. My capitalizer category never really had a second grouping, so Nefer's the first of her kind to do this. If you look at Navia's kit, you can see that the shards collected still make a crystallized shield, so the original purpose of the reaction is maintained. A Nefer equivalent would be if Navia absorbed crystallized shards to deal more damage, but disabled the shield making in the process. Or a freeze character dealing more damage when freeze is triggered, but actively preventing freezable enemies from being frozen. Nilou and Nefer reminded me of this idea called the horseshoe theory. It's basically this political theory that extreme people of two political parties end up having traits that make them more similar than someone in a more centrist position. That is all I'm gonna say about this because I do not want to lure the wrong demographic into my silly little Genshin channel. In the analogy of the whole reaction unit stuff, Nilou and Nefer are on the extreme ends of how a reaction is used. Nilou reworks Bloom and buffs it for the entire team. Meanwhile, Nefer reworks Bloom by disabling its properties for her own gain. The idea with the horseshoe is the similarity that they reworked Bloom. It's using the same method to achieve opposing goals. It's also very interesting that both of them play into the same pure Bloom archetype while having opposing combat scenarios. Nefer isn't limited in the whole Dendro and Hydro only rule like Nilou is, but because you can trigger Hyper Bloom or Burgeon, Nefer naturally pairs better with other Dendro or Hydro characters. Nilou's kit leans more into the AoE aspect of Bloom, as her bountiful cores actually increase the AoE of the explosion. Also, running a Bloom team in AoE results in more Bloom cores being generated, which heavily spikes up the damage output from your team. Nefer, on the other hand, still has AoE, but she'll likely see more play in single-target boss content. The horseshoe idea returns here. Both play more into these pure Bloom archetypes, but one has better AoE situations, while the other is more optimal in single-target. Nefer is the first of her kind to have this anti-reaction niche. As a result, I haven't looked too deeply into the concept, But I am very fascinated with the idea of future units using a similar gimmick. Maybe I'll cover it more down the line if we get more characters like this, or maybe I'll make an original character with this mechanic. For now, Nefer will be the one and only for this game design category. This next section is going to be really quick, but I wanted to share this other rabbit hole that I went down. I want to talk about Nefer's kit design in tandem with Lauma. Nefer and Lauma are designed as a DPS support duo, that much is obvious, but there was this specific detail in their kits that made their synergies a lot more intricate compared to other duos. The main detail lies in Lauma's burst and her pale him stacks. In a single target scenario, Nefer's special charge attacks deal 3 instances of LeBloom damage. For every skill usage, she can do this special attack 3 times, which is a total of 9 LeBloom hits per skill. But she also has 2 charges of her skill, so in a single rotation, she deals 18 hits of LeBloom damage. When we look at Lauma, her burst grants a base amount of 18 pale him stacks, which can be used to increase any type of bloom-related damage, including Lunar Bloom. She can gain up to an additional 18 stacks if she consumes Verdant Dew with her hold skill, but in a Nefer team, Nefer will be the one consuming Verdant Dew, so Lauma's not really able to use her hold skill. This means her pale him stacks are stuck at the base 18, and as mentioned earlier, 18 is the exact amount of LeBloom hits that Nefer deals in a rotation. In addition to buffing her personal damage, Nefer's A1 passive Disabling Bloom Cores prevents them from stealing Lauma's pale him stacks. With this, Nefer is able to capitalize on every stack when she deals damage, and honestly, it's pretty in line with her character being more opportunistic and self-serving. I really like how these two are designed in terms of their intricate synergy. It feels like a simple nod to their connection in the lore. While their general kits are paired together for meta, the intricate details are mainly there for little trivia connections. At the end of the day, Nefer is still this anti-bloom DPS, and Lauma is a generalized bloom support. They're perfectly fine independently, it's just that when paired together for LeBloom, you can see how intentional it was that Nefer deals this exact amount of hits, while Lauma will buff the exact same amount of damage. Anyway, that's gonna do it for this video. All in all, I was just very intrigued with how Nefer's kit was designed. It's pretty common to have characters who take an archetype and flip it on its head, though we've never gone as far as disabling reactions. I did find it interesting, taking a team-oriented reaction and flipping it to become solo DPS utility. It's also cool that this reaction is generally used for AoE content, but Nefer is able to capitalize on the team being useful in single target scenarios. If you enjoyed this video, consider leaving a like and subscribe to support the channel. Let me know if you're planning to pull for Nefer, and if so, what kind of teams are you going to use her in? Also, let me know your thoughts on the way she's designed. If you're interested in sharing original concepts with the community, consider joining my Discord server. Thank you for watching, everyone. Good luck on your Nefer pulls, and I will see you all next time. Bye!